Hello, everyone. We have a potential historic blizzard on its way to impact a large portion of the northeastern United States, starting tomorrow afternoon, continuing into Monday night, and continuing through Tuesday night for some areas, and finishing up by Wednesday morning when it will finally begin to weaken. But this is definitely going to be one of the biggest blizzards that we've seen in a long time, probably since the big blizzard of, I believe it was 93, in the early 1990s. I think this will be one of the biggest blizzards since that blizzard. I think this has the potential to be even worse than Winter Storm Nemo a couple years ago, if you guys think about that. We had a very narrow swath of areas that got 3 feet or more. I think there's going to be a wider swath of that for this storm. There's going to be more widespread 2 to 3 feet snow reports, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm going to try to cut to the chase in this video, keep it under 15 minutes, because there's a lot to talk about and a lot of maps that I want to show. I'm not going to go through 500 millibar vorticity. I did that in the other videos last couple days. It's the same idea. We have 2 pieces of energy coming together. One that's the Clipper system that's moving through the Ohio Valley and northern portions of the Mid-Atlantic right now. That's the first piece of energy. Another piece of energy comes down out of Canada, combines with it, causes a big storm to spin up and come up the coast. So what I'm going to do, though, is I am going to go over precipitation maps just to give you an idea of where the heaviest snow is going to be. This is the European model. I'm on Weather Bell right now. And we're going to kind of use this to talk about timing as well, and I have a specific map for timing. So this is for Monday evening as your storm starts to strengthen. Your low is all the way down here off the Virginia coast. You see that the precipitation is starting to pick up across the ocean. And what's going to happen is Monday evening, this precipitation, the low starts to cut off. Precipitation is going to start wrapping around all this moisture. So your heavier snows are going to start to pick up across Delaware, eastern Maryland, coastal New Jersey, and southeastern Pennsylvania Monday evening, going into Monday night. And then, so this is 7 p.m. Monday evening. Let's go 6 hours into the future. So you see that snow has now moved in. It's encoding these areas. And you also have heavier snow bands working north into southern New England along Cape Cod, Rhode Island, and Long Island in New York City. And that is by 1 a.m. on Monday evening. Now, since the moisture is wrapping around, all of this blue and green is going to continue to move on to the southwest down towards the Delmarva coast. So these areas will also be impacted by heavy snow Monday night. Probably not going to receive nearly as much as southern New England, but still definitely a significant accumulation. And you see all this red here? This is really heavy precipitation. I'm worried about this coming on shore for southern New England, and this is going to be your heaviest burst of snow. Let's go 6 hours into the future. This is 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. And here we go. This is going to be your heavier period of snow. So here are your snows. Southeastern Pennsylvania, Philly on the back edge of some really heavy snow. Most of New Jersey is covered with heavy snow. And then your heaviest snow bands from this blizzard are going to be right along Cape Cod, along southeastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, right up into Boston. I think this is your prime area for really heavy snow Tuesday morning. And then the other area that I'm concerned about is this moisture is going to go to the south and west. It's going to impact Connecticut, portions of the lower Hudson Valley, including down into Westchester, New York City, and Long Island. This really heavy band of snow is going to move into here through Tuesday morning. So I think that southern New England and into northern New Jersey, lower Hudson Valley, Long Island, New York City, Connecticut, Rhode Island, this is your prime area for snow accumulations of 2 to 3 feet out of this storm. And that's going to be Tuesday morning will be the heaviest period. And you have your outer edge of snow starting to spread into central and northern New England. Albany will be impacted as well. Burlington will be impacted. And then much of Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire will be impacted. So by Tuesday morning, this is starting to spread northward. And man, just look at this. You always get your heaviest precipitation on the north and western end of a low that's closing or cutting off. And so that's why I'm really concerned about southern New England, because this is not going anywhere quick. And it's going to be at its height when it's right off the coast of Cape Cod and Long Island. So And Long Island and Cape Cod are to the north and west. Southern New England's to the north and west. That's where you get your most snow. Okay, now let's go 6 hours into the future. Okay, and so now you have your heavier snows further north across Vermont, New Hampshire, coastal Maine, and even back into western Massachusetts, western Connecticut, lower Hudson Valley, and then even into portions of upstate New York. So your heaviest snow for southern New England is going to occur late Monday night into Tuesday morning, and you'll still have heavy snow around Tuesday afternoon, but it's going to start to taper off a little bit during the afternoon hours, not as heavy. But you're still going to have heavier snow further west by Tuesday afternoon as that moisture is wrapped around the low. Now, then what's going to start to happen Tuesday afternoon is, since the low, this area of low pressure right here, where my mouse is pointing, by the way, notice 979 millibars is pretty strong. What's going to start to happen is that's going to start to weaken because it's cut off from its main source of energy. So the snow is going to start to die down area-wide throughout the Northeast beginning later Tuesday afternoon. And if you go 6 hours into the future, take a look at this. There's no more red. There's barely any blue. I mean, there's some green around, and there's still some heavy snow going on across Long Island, New York City, New Jersey, lower Hudson Valley for Tuesday evening, but it's not as nearly as heavy. Now, well, your heaviest snow is up into Maine, but this is going to start to weaken. And eventually this precipitation will taper off, but I think everybody has a chance of seeing at least some snow through Wednesday morning. There's going to be really, really extended period of snow because when this cuts off, it becomes stationary. It does not move. It barely moves the entire duration. And that's why there's going to be so much snow with this storm. If you go to Tuesday night, now it's not really heavy at all. Look, the pressure's going up. The precipitation is lighter. Any snow that falls through Wednesday morning will be on the lighter side, area-wide. And your low will start to move out then, because it will no longer, it will be weakening. So there's nothing holding it back. It'll be drawn to the east. Okay, and that's just the time, kind of the timing, just to give you a better idea of timing here. I'll get to the snowfall map in a minute. We're thinking, or I'm thinking, that the Delmarva, North Coast, Eastern Maryland, Delaware, Southern Jersey, Southeastern Pennsylvania, including Philadelphia, we're thinking Monday afternoon, the snow starts, it becomes heavy Tuesday night, continues into Tuesday. I'm going to change this to Tuesday afternoon, because I think you can get a burst of moderate snow through Tuesday afternoon. I think the heavier snow stays east of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, but you definitely will be getting some amount of snow from this. Philly, you're getting heavy snow. Dover, Maryland, you're getting heavy snow. Further on north into northeastern Pennsylvania, northern Jersey, Long Island, New York City, lower Hudson Valley, towards Albany, Connecticut, Rhode Island, south and eastern Massachusetts up to Boston. Your main impact for heavy snow is going to be Monday evening through Tuesday evening. That'll be the timetable. The heaviest snow will occur later Monday night into the first half of Tuesday, and there could be some reminiscent heavy snow since that moisture is wrapping around through Tuesday evening. Further on north, you start to get into central and northern New England by Tuesday morning, and that again will last throughout the day on Tuesday into Tuesday night, and then the snow will spread north into Maine, northern Vermont, New Hampshire by Tuesday afternoon and continue into Wednesday morning. And everybody should at least see light snow through Wednesday morning. So that's the timing of the system. Also, just to go over my weather map here, this is the basic setup. You have a big area of high pressure over eastern Canada that's going to be fueling down Arctic air. So there's not going to be an issue with precipitation type for this storm. It's going to be all snow. This low is going to rapidly strengthen and become stationary over here. And blizzard conditions are going to be likely along the coast and maybe even further inland. I mean, lower Hudson Valley is under a blizzard warning right now by the National Weather Service. So just keep in mind that you can get blizzard conditions here and then heavy snow extending back inland across eastern Pennsylvania, western New York. It's extending back pretty far. Now, before I get to another map of mine, I want to go over... See, I'm saving the snowfall map for last because that's the most exciting part. I want to go over the threat for strong winds. So let's go over sustained winds first. I'm not talking about gusts right now. We're talking about sustained winds. Okay? This is Monday night. So if you take a look, we can zoom in. You see green across Long Island and southern New England here. That's going to be generally 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds across Long Island and Cape Cod here. And then the blue is basically 15 to 20 miles per hour. But that's because the low is still down here. This is going to come north throughout the night, and you're going to have really strong winds extending even further back inland by Tuesday morning. So if we go ahead there, take a look. Now you have 25 to 40 miles per hour over eastern Long Island and Cape Cod. You have 20 to 30 extending all the way back through western Massachusetts and central and western Connecticut, all of Rhode Island, up into Vermont, New Hampshire and coastal Maine, and then even back into New York City. And then you have 15 to 20 mile per hour winds going back inland across the lower Hudson Valley and most of New Jersey. Go ahead one more frame. I believe this is it. Yeah, here we go. Look at how close that low is now. Now you're going to have sustained winds closer to 40 miles per hour across eastern Long Island. A good portion of New England will be at sustained winds of about 25 to 35 miles per hour. And even back into New York City, we're talking about 25 to 35 mile an hour winds in lower Hudson Valley. And further back inland, more like 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds. And as this low moves up and out, these winds will again pick up, but then the low starts to weaken and winds will die down. But throughout the day on Tuesday, sustained winds along the coast are going to be really ridiculous. Let's look at wind gusts. By the way, everything that I'm showing you is courtesy of Weatherbelt, and it's the European model. Let's just go straight. This is Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Look at where your low is. This deep brown or purplish area here is wind gusts of 75 miles an hour. That's approaching eastern Long Island here. Wind gusts of 75 miles an hour approaching Cape Cod. A little bit further inland across central Long Island, it's more of 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. Same thing across eastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, coastal Connecticut. We can see gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And this will actually start to extend back further inland throughout the day, these wind gusts. The Twin Forks of Long Island could see wind gusts of up to 80 miles an hour during the day on Tuesday. We could see up to 65 mile an hour wind gusts extending back into central Long Island. Same thing for Connecticut, central Massachusetts. Along the coast here, we could see wind gusts of up to 65 miles an hour, including Boston and Providence and Cape Cod. Back into New York City, we could see wind gusts of up to 45 or 50 miles an hour, maybe even a little stronger depending on how far west this area of low pressure goes. Go ahead one more. Low is starting to weaken, so winds will start to die down a little bit Tuesday afternoon, but they're still going to be pretty gusty. Definitely blizzard conditions expected. Okay? So now, by the way, watch out for downed power lines in that case. And here is my snowfall map, which will probably make some of you crap your pants. Yeah, it is a lot of snow. And so there's going to be a sweet spot for who's going to get the most snow out of this. And I think that sweet spot is going to be southern New England. It's going to be anywhere from central, eastern, and southeastern Massachusetts, anywhere from Boston on into western and central Massachusetts, down into all of Connecticut and all of Rhode Island are in this, all of Long Island and New York City, eastern and northeastern New Jersey, lower Hudson Valley, Westchester. All of these areas are in the sweet spot for 20 to 30 inches of snow. That's on average about 2.5 feet is in there. 20 to 30 inches of snow. And depending on where the heaviest bands of snow occur, there could be reports of 3 feet or more of snow. 3 feet or more. New York City is in this as well. Boston is in this threat area. Providence is in this threat area. Hartford is in this threat area. All these major cities could see 20 to 30 inches or more of snow Monday afternoon through Wednesday morning. Okay? Where do I think the best chance of getting reports of 3 feet of snow are? I would say along eastern Massachusetts coast, Rhode Island, central and southeastern Connecticut, probably central and eastern Long Island. That's where I think the heaviest snow bands are going to be. That's where I think your most likelihood of getting a report of 3 feet or more of snow would be. But a general overall will be 20 to 30 inches without taking into account banding, everybody should see 20 to 30 inches of snow in this area. Further on to the west, further west across central and northern New Jersey here, not including northwest New Jersey, 12 to 20 inches. Extending further up, probably east of Albany, and back into southern Vermont, good portion of New Hampshire and coastal Maine, 12 to 20 inches, and where banding occurs locally, 24. So that's for that area. And then Philadelphia, I have you in the 6 to 12. I think you could be closer to a foot. Trenton, New Jersey might be on the edge of the 12 to 20 inch line. So you would be around a foot as well. And then portions of eastern Pennsylvania, Binghamton would probably be in the 6 to 12 range as well. Albany I would put in the 6 to 12. And maybe a little more for Albany. You're kind of on the western fringe of the 12 to 20 inch line here. And then back up into Burlington. I forget how far north Burlington is, but you got to be close to the 6 to 12. And then into central Maine, 6 to 12. Portland is getting close to 20 inches. Portland, Maine is getting close to 20 inches. And then further west across upstate New York, Pennsylvania here, back towards, I believe that's back towards Baltimore and D.C. I have you in 3 to 6 inches of snow. And then further west, 1 to 3. Okay, so that is the story with snowfall accumulation. We went over timing. We went over everything we needed to go over. Your sweet spot, once again, is southern New England, anywhere from Boston to Providence. I would throw Worcester on there. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce the name of that city. I would throw Hartford on there, all of Connecticut, lower Hudson Valley, New York City, Long Island, 20 to 30 inches of snow. I'm pretty confident in that right now. Pretty confident. You're on the northwestern side of this low when it's going to be at its height. 20 to 30 inches is my best estimate, and there will be reports, very likely, of up to 3 feet. All right, and then further north and west, you start to decrease. So that's the video. Everybody stay safe. This is going to be one of the biggest blizzards that we've seen in years. Years. Stay safe. Stock up on everything that you need to get you through the week. You know, I hope most of you have generators. I know they're very expensive. I'm afraid that there will be power outages. This is just a really nasty storm that we got coming, and I think this is definitely going to be the biggest storm we have all winter, with the winter that we've been having. My hunger for snow will be satisfied by this storm alone. If we get no snow the rest of the winter, but this storm comes through with the way that I'm predicting it, I will be totally happy the rest of the winter with no more snow. Alright, so thank you for watching. It's 18 minutes, I know, but a lot to talk about here. So stay safe, everybody.